Hello, and welcome to Week 5, Energy Impasse. In previous weeks, we have looked at our personal relationships with energy by sharing our energy stories. We have reflected on our knowledge of energy and explored the importance of energy literacy in our role as educators, and we have considered how arts and humanities education in particular can play a critical role in promoting ways of understanding and knowing. Last week, we looked at the concepts of petroculture and petrosubjectivity, drawing connections to how oil culture permeates everything we do, know, and perceive. Petroculture makes it extremely difficult to imagine and transition to a sustainable future, which connects to our theme this week, energy impasse. So what do we mean by impasse? An impasse is a situation in which progress is not possible due to entrenched disagreements or deadlocked opinions. This week, we consider some of the major obstacles or impasses that are preventing us both personally and as a society from transitioning to a more sustainable future. Some of these impasses include education, as we have already examined the critical importance of energy literacy and the role that arts and humanities education can play, socioeconomic, and a capitalist system that focuses primarily on unsustainable economic growth, political, as both renewable energy and the topic of climate change have become highly politicized issues, and finally we look at the imaginative impasse. We have already discussed the role that arts and humanities education can play in helping us imagine a new future, and how our own petrosubjectivity can distort our ability to reimagine our society. These are certainly not the only impasses that we face, so please let us know if you can think of more that you have encountered or witnessed in your daily life. We will also look at the genre of solar punk, a form of speculative fiction that imagines solar power as the primary energy source of society, a modern alternative to the popular steampunk genre. Rather than envisioning a dystopic future, as is often seen in the cyberpunk genre, solarpunk instead imagines a society that has a more positive and egalitarian relationship with the Earth. Solarpunk can serve as a source of powerful storytelling in helping us imagine ways to break through the energy impasse and what our world could potentially look like beyond our current petroculture. We really enjoyed diving into the solarpunk genre, and we think you will too. There are a number of digital texts this week to help us further explore the theme of energy impasse. First, we will look once again at After Oil by the Petrocultures Research Group. 6 narratives are identified that reflect on the story of oil's past and how we might envision a transition to a new sustainable future. Each narrative asks, what's the story? Who tells this story? What's the impasse? And what is the pathway to action? Later, we will invite you to reflect on your own impasse and how it may fit into one of these narratives. Next, we will look at Digitalization and Energy, a report published by the International Energy Agency, or IEA, which examines the impact of digital technologies on energy demand sectors, looks at how energy suppliers can use digital tools to improve operations, and explores the transformational potential of digitalization to help create a highly interconnected energy system. We will then read a short excerpt from Naomi Klein's This Changes Everything, Capitalism versus the Climate. Klein is concerned less with the mechanics of our energy transition than with the power and ideological roadblocks, or impasses, that have so far prevented any of these long understood solutions from taking hold. In other words, our problem has a lot less to do with the mechanics of solar power than the politics of human power. Finally, we will look at an excerpt from Carbon Democracy by Timothy Mitchell, which analyzes the intricate connection between oil, power, and democratic politics. We have created our presentation site as both a learning resource and an online space for participatory activities. Under Learn, you will find themes concerning energy democracy, political economics, digitalization and energy, and solarpunk. For each, we've provided links and commentary concerning this week's digital texts, as well as additional resources that you may find of interest for yourself or to share with your students. Under Act, you will find a few activities. First, we have created 2 online discussion spaces to first reflect on our personal energy stories and impasses, and then collectively brainstorm imaginative solutions to envision a more sustainable future. Next, we have included a lesson plan for educators based on a Japanese anime film rooted in the solarpunk genre. And finally, in consideration of all the excellent resources that have been shared in our class discussions, we encourage you to share any resources that you may have to the Educator Resources page found in Canvas. We hope that our presentation will help us reflect on the energy impasse that we all face and collectively imagine creative solutions to break through.